Welcome. Today I'm sitting down with local string band 2-Ton Twig. Their music draws from bluegrass, folk, and Americana, pulled together to create their own unique style. And you'll get to hear some of that later on in the show. They've played around the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area and have started expanding their reach, recently taking a trip to Tennessee. 2-Ton Twig just released their first full-length album, The Molting Session, which is available for download on Amazon and iTunes, as well as hard copies available at their shows. So welcome, guys. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
So how did your band get started? How did you all get together?
Basement in Alexandria.
Originally.
We lived together for about a year and a half, I'd say. Been playing music pretty much our whole lives.
Pretty much.
Start jamming. I had a banjo that I had for a while. He had a mandolin. He wanted to play banjo really bad, so we traded.
Forced the mandolin on him.
Yeah, I didn't want to play it. I love them now. I love mandolins now, but back then, just not digging it.
So yeah, it started off me and him in the basement, trying to learn these instruments that we had no previous interaction with, at least physically. Then we got our buddy Tim to play guitar with us. So it was originally a trio. Eventually, added some more people, switched out some people, kept growing, learning. It was fun.
And can you tell us a little bit about that process? Like, how did you find additional people?
Me and Jordan had we had developed a very set idea of where we wanted to go with our music. Sometimes that doesn't work with people. And so you have to figure out, the best way to change that up and get what you want out of your sound. So we put out an ad on Craigslist and got a few responses.
Yeah.
Met these guys.
Yeah, I was in a bluegrass band previously, and it ended, and I saw their ad, showed up one night, cold night in December.
And, it was November, December.
November, December, yeah. And then Yin, that was the first time I met him.
Indeed.
We pretty much joined the same nights.
Yeah, it clicked really well, really quickly. Also we've been Ian plays the upright. Yeah. We've been looking for that upright sound, and
which was a good thing, as wasn't I the only bass player who replied?
I think you were the only bass player.
And is it just the four of you?
There's a fifth member, okay. Anna Hennessy, who plays fiddle, and she rips. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it out today, but
she is amazing. But very busy. When you're that good, you have a lot of work.
Yeah. So. So how did you come up with your sound? The combination of different styles.
Well, I think we've all been playing music for decades, really. I mean, I grew up playing sort of songs by people like The Cure and the Sisters of Mercy back in the UK, and that brings a certain dark edge to it on the bass side, and these guys have been playing metal and folk and Americana for donkey's years. Yeah. And I think it all basically feeds in, really.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I always love about folk music, I'm a huge punk fan. Especially, being around here, the whole DC hardcore scene with bands like Minor Threat, Bad Brain. It's a very raw, very honest kind of music. And I liked folk music because it was like that. It was so honest and straight up, nothing extra on top. It was just the music, and I think that's what kind of drew me to it.
Very raw and honest.
Yeah. No effects, no studio tricks, just acoustic instruments and voices.
Yeah.
You can't fake it. You have to.
You have to do it.
And were there any specific groups or performers that also influenced you?
Yeah.
Quite a few.
No, we just came across the Hackensaw Boys.
The Hackensaw Boys are awesome. Yeah. They're from Charlottesville area. They're just very, straightforward, old-timey bluegrass, but
it's got enough romp to it, it's fun.
Yeah, it's very fun, very.
But they can get deep, they can get very pretty and make you think a little bit. It's not all just whiskey and dance and.
Trampled by Turtles was a big one for me. They're very.
Yeah, it's a big one. That's the first time I actually saw bluegrass live. I'm like,
yeah.
This works.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're very progressive. They started off trying to emulate the original bluegrass, and then they sort of have grown and just changed throughout, which is very cool to see. It's something I see in us a lot, how we've changed from being very I don't want to say bad, but just
Oh, we suck. I'm just saying, dude, we suck.
very like very dirty, like very I don't know how to put it. Just and then sort of honing our skills a little more and getting a little more mature in our sound.
And so you've done all of that, and now you've just released your first full-length album, which is very exciting.
Yeah, we're very pumped. We're proud of it.
How did that work? They're all your own songs, is that correct?
Yes.
All originals.
Could you just tell me a little bit about your songwriting process?
It varies, you know. It's mostly me and Brandon writing. One of us will either have an idea, whether it's a chord progression or a melody or like even just a lyric idea, you know. Sometimes we'll be sitting down, you know, with a few beers, like, you know, I got this idea for a lyric, you know, murder ballad. Oh, what are we gonna do? And like we'll kind of just maybe someone will come up with an idea. Like I said, a lot of it's based around chord progressions, you know. We'll find like a cool chord progression and start singing over it, you know, start jamming on together. Like, hey, let's do something with that. Like a month later, like, you know, one of us will come back like, hey, I finished it.
A lot of times lyrics come to me first most of the time. I'll have like even just a single line pop into my head and that's enough to develop a story. And then I have a hard time sometimes putting the music to it and figuring out, because I always feel like, oh, it's just like the other one I did, or it's just like the other one. So a lot of times I come to him with help on developing the music part. Some of our songs, a lot of our older songs, we spent a lot of time writing together. We would just be
Because we lived in the same house.
It was always basements.
Yeah.
It was either our friend's basement,
PBR.
you know, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's time to write a song.
So that's how you wrote your songs. What about molting session? How did you come up with that theme? What does it mean? Does it mean something?
That was a theme I had sort of... I wanted to stick with that theme because of the changing of the members. You know, we shed sort of this old skin that was what we were. Yes, was what we were, and sort of gained these new feathers to you know,
our little feathers.
Yeah, feathers.
Never been called that
Very
before.
cool. That's very cool.
And it was also, we did a recording in the fall, so it was, you know, the leaves. It was just it all sort of made sense to me in a weird artistic way.
Oh, I love that. So where did you record this album?
Oh, that was great. We went to Inner Ear Studios up in Arlington, where we mentioned the Discord label earlier. So people like Fugazi, who even I knew about in the UK, and they were pretty big for us back then. Nation of Ulysses, all those people, and their fingerprints were all over the place in that facility. So you were in the same place as all these people, yeah, in the punk. And
I was freaking out.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
They recorded some Minor Threat there. I was like, oh my god, Jesus.
It's a very, very known local sort of Indian punk studio. So.
And how did the recording session go? What was that like?
It was pretty smooth. We practiced a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Specifically, just, you know, without vocals, without singing, we, you know, had our song selection down and we sat and practiced for a month. Just, you know, no vocals.
10 songs, 2 days.
Yeah,
that was intense.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
That was
a lot of
different.
practice, a lot of work. We did most of it live. Well, we did 2 songs completely live, and the rest of them we did, you know, the main instrumentation live, and then would come back and overdub the vocals and
Occasional lead
solos,
parts.
and, yeah, you know, random parts to, you know, just
Yeah, a
bring
lot
it
of those
together.
songs we'd have to like not like collective time, and including like doing the tracks and the vocals, maybe like 45, 50 minutes on one song.
Yeah,
which is
We
it's
did
intense.
a lot of work in a very short time. It was extremely fun, but I was worn out by the end of the weekend. It was a long weekend.
our engineer Nick Anderson was quite pleased with, or quite amazed rather, with how fast and how, you know,
Yeah,
we're
also
actually
we got to
set
give
out
it to Nick
do it.
Anderson too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nick
Art
Anderson,
engineer.
great engineer.
Yeah, awesome guy
Good
to work
friend.
with.
But of course, Bill Monroe's record was an album in 4 hours, which I was impressed with.
Album?
We're not there yet.
The old guys put us to shame.
Yeah, they do.
Sounds like you did pretty well.
We're very happy.
Yes,
That's great.
very pleased.
Any sense for... Never mind. This has been awesome. I was going to ask you any sense of what music you may be working on soon, but now, which is much more interesting, we're going to hear some of the music from your new album, The Molting Session. So I am excited to present in just a minute 2 Ton Twig.
This is a sassy little tune called Cry to Yourself. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. She's true. Love to see her smile, but she's always blue. It's always black. She thinks it's crap. Oh, every day something new. I ain't perfect, baby, but I say this to you. I don't wanna hear you, baby, cry to yourself. Turn off them tears, just let it cry to yourself. On and on and on and on you cry. Take your story somewhere else and cry to yourself.
This next song is called Not Alone.
Today, packed my bags and I walked away. You begged, you moaned, you cried, said without me you would die. When I called, you sounded cold. You said I'm sitting here and I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Cause you you're not alone. Cause you I'm coming home. gotta be gone this long. Can't say where I'll be next year, but I can tell you it won't be here. When I told you before, when I'm gone, won't do no wrong, won't do no wrong.
This song is called Those Things. 1, 2, 3, 4. World broke down just yesterday, and we're all in no matter what you say. Left our souls in a bank that feels dead, but it's okay, it's okay. Placing numbers with our things that cannot be held down.
There goes old Timmy, that girl could make the preacher say, well, I can't stop there.